You're now listening to N21FM, a Pokemon podcast. I'm your host, Glenn, joined as always by my wonderful co-host, Johnny. How are you doing today, bud?
I'm doing good. Yeah, it's been a good day. It's been a quiet day, so it's been kind of nice.
Glad to hear that. It's been a while since we've gotten together on this here show. It's good to see you.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you enjoyed the week off with as I understand, your wife's birthday, right?
Was that good? It was her. Oh, it was great. It was her birthday weekend last weekend, and so on Friday we went and we did an escape room with some friends. Really cool one in the local area that has people who I guess it's the people who started it up are former like Imagineers from Disney, right?
Oh, that's sweet.
So it's, I will say, one of the highest quality production value escape rooms I've ever been to. Like, truly one of the coolest that I've ever done. And I've been to some really, really fun ones. And I think this one just beats out one of my favorites by just a little bit. Like, the only other better escape room I've done is like one in New Orleans that had a room that had to be navigated and solved all in the dark, which was really cool.
Whoa, that's
like
pretty
no
sweet.
light sources, and you have to just feel your way through. But this one was really cool. It's like, it was just like multi-leveled, multiple rooms were multi-leveled and stuff like that, with like a lot of like interactivity with the game room host as well, you know, like that's something that was new. So it was a really, really cool time. So we went and we did that and had some good food afterwards. And then we spent Sunday with some family, and she wanted hibachi, so we made some hibachi on a Blackstone.
Very, very nice.
Oh yeah,
love that for you.
So fun. Mm-hmm.
That's great,
how about
man.
You? How was your week off? How was your vacation?
It was nice. I also was I was actually at the beach. Me and my wife were celebrating 5 years. Obviously, last week's episode went live on our anniversary, the 2nd. It was very, very nice. Lovely. Yeah. We went out, we kind of chilled. We didn't do a whole bunch. We went out and we had like a nice, like no holds barred dinners, just like, we're out here. It's a big 5-year anniversary. Let's just spend the money and have a good time. Yeah. Order drinks and stuff, and we got like some pie for dessert from like Food Lion. Because if you didn't know, they sell like individual pieces of pie. So I got like a whipped cheesecake, and she got a chocolate cream pie. It was freaking awesome.
That's so good.
Yeah. And then we went to breakfast the next morning. I got my favorite coffee, which is a cappuccino. And then she got a latte, and we went and we got this place called Mimosas, which is such a generic name. Love it. But the food was phenomenal. Let me ask you a question. What are your thoughts on like seafood in breakfast?
Big fan.
Okay. Yeah. A lot of people are weird about it. A lot of people are really weird about it.
I mean, shrimp and grits is a breakfast item. As much as it's a dinner item, it's a breakfast item. So
yes. Well, I ask what we got there. Anytime I'm in like a coastal place or any nice place and it's an option on the menu, I always will get a lobster omelet. So I got a lobster and shrimp omelet with tomato and onion.
Hell yeah.
It was gigantic, by the way. And then my wife got an order of the creme brulee French toast, and we always do it family style, so we'll both get something and share it.
Yeah, of course.
It was outrageous how good that meal was.
That's so awesome.
So good. So we ate really well. We hung out on the beach. We went to the pool. We went to our lake, the lazy river, and the hot tub. We just kind of we chilled out. We took it really slow. We almost went to a magic show, but we were a little tight on funds, so we skipped out on that. But it's good to be here with you. I'm glad to be back recording our show, N21FM. We go live, on Patreon every Monday to Tuesday, but on free feeds, Spotify and YouTube, we'll go live every single Thursday for you with some news, topics for discussion, and some other good stuff revolving around Pokemon as a franchise and the TCG specifically. We're trying to branch out. We're working on it. You'll hear mentions of VGC today. But not much else. It's gonna be a big TCG focused episode. But like I said earlier, you can get our show early at patreon.com/terminalcreative. We don't have any intentions to ever run ads. This show is funded by you. So if you're interested in supporting us, helping us make this show happen, support us over there at patreon.com/terminalcreative, where you can, for $1 a month, get early access to every episode and access to our bonus show, N21 Plus. We've got one that is really late that I'm going to put up there as soon as I'm able to, but it's a bigger edit than I've really made any time for. My schedule's been packed lately. For the $5 tier, that is our audience participation, and you'll hear from one of our audience members later on in the episode. It's a pretty lengthy question, so we'll have some fun time to talk about it. And eventually, we would like to populate this next tier. If you want to have a producer credit, get your name read at the end of our show, and get access to all the other benefits from the other tiers, that is the $10 tier. It's a pretty good value. And we have other stuff. I have other stuff in the works for it. I'm still figuring out exactly what it looks like, but there's a lot of like behind the scenes stuff I got to do before we can make sure that happens. But for now, we're sitting comfortably at just the knowledge that you're helping out the show, and your name right at the end of the show, as well as the benefits of the other tiers for that $10 tier. Obviously, if you want to support for free, do it. On YouTube, you can like the video, you can subscribe to the channel, you can leave a comment. Same for Spotify. You can follow the show, you can leave a comment there, you can rate us. Those things help quite a bit. Yeah. But as always, we just appreciate you guys watching, listening, sharing with your friends. It's so funny because I was talking to a friend who's like a fan of the show the other day.
Yeah.
And it's a weird thing where it's like, oh, we're not doing all that much. But then I remember like we have people that pretty consistently listen, and they were like, I had name dropped them in the show, and they're like, oh, it's always a jump scare when you guys say my name on N21. And I was like, it's always a jump scare to find out that you're listening to N21. So, I mean, I'm glad we're getting even, if anything.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. I hope you guys are enjoying this show lately, and I hope that we can put out some really cool stuff in the future. We've got a really packed episode today. We missed quite a bit. We're not going to cover all of it. There's been more of what last week's episode was, more developments when it comes to that. And I think that I don't want to talk more about it on today's episode because I'm very uninformed about it. And so I'm not going to be able to do my due diligence. I don't want to talk about it. I want to pay respect to the people involved in those situations. So we will not be covering that today. And I also just don't want 2 episodes in a row of talking about that.
Yeah.
So
I think it's kind of a subject we might end up covering once there's some more info on resolutions.
I think that's probably the best thing we're going to do anyways.
Let the dust settle.
Yeah.
So to speak.
For sure. So in the meantime, we've got some other sad news, but we've got some other really good news and fun news too. I think the first thing that we should start with, unfortunately, we do got to start on a negative note, but it's also related to top stuff we've covered before, right? I don't like to play fast and loose with people's jobs, but I think it's time that TBCI, like said it in the title, I think it's time for Gaming Gen to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
The article here is actually a courtesy of, it's not an article, it's courtesy of Twitter. During the Milwaukee Regionals on the 10th, they said, here's their tweet or I guess post on X if you want to go down that road. Their post is, hey trainers, in order to assist with traffic flow on Saturday morning, if your start time is 8:30 a.m., please arrive between 6:30 a.m. and 7:30 a.m. Wristband pickup begins at 6:30 a.m. on Saturday. For juniors, seniors, and Go trainers, please aim to arrive after 7:30 a.m. This will help to make sure players avoid too much foot traffic when they arrive to start to play on Saturday. Thanks and good luck to this weekend, trainers. Doors will be opening shortly. And this is a follow-up to the situation that happened in Pittsburgh, where there was crazy foot traffic and people could not get around, and there were issues with like the fire marshal. Fire marshal also almost closed down the Pokemon Center pop-up at Worlds.
Yeah.
That's neither here nor there. That's just, it's another thing and it's another circumstance where something like this has happened under the attention of Gaming Gen. as an organizer. Yes. Gaming Gen obviously is the organizing company that TPCI has been using to schedule and plan and organize their Pokemon events this season, and I think last season too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, entirely last season. I believe, used them in the past as well.
Yeah, they were on the rotation.
But they weren't for every one of them. Yeah.
Yeah. And this has sparked quite a bit of frustration in the community. Actually, a pretty prevalent community member who recently stopped casting, Frosted Caribou, was previously a caster for Pokemon TCG and responded to this, saying this expectation forces players to lose sleep, skip breakfast, and start an $80 event already exhausted before playing a full day of Pokemon. No accountability, no responsibility for what happened in Pittsburgh, just shifting the problem onto players and participants and other stuff too. But that's not the full quote, but that is the main chunk of this tweet that I wanted to bring up. Is that, again, Gaming Gen just seems completely unfit to organize events anymore. We have outgrown them. Yes, what are your thoughts?
I think that, I mean, the first thing that pops into my head immediately with Gaming Gen's tweet is this bit right here. Wristband pickup begins at 6:30 a.m. on Saturday. I've only been to one regional.
Right.
Wristband pickup was available the day before, right?
I think I remember so.
Like, wristband pickup was available the day before, and I get it, right? Not everyone goes Friday evening or afternoon to go and do their pickup, and that's fine. But I'm a little confused, I guess, why they aren't trying to encourage players to either do that more, or why they're not prepared to have a large volume still on the day of the event, right?
Yeah.
I think there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way to handle it, and I'm not sure what that is entirely. I don't know if it's having more stations for wristband pickup. I don't know if it's basically saying, no, you have to do your pickup the day before.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure, but I do know that,
sorry to cut you off, but even if it's just TCG Masters have to pick up their wristbands the day before, because it's one thing to encourage, and this is still a bad solution, mind you, but I'm trying to be like charitable, right? Where if you really want to do what they're suggesting and be like, oh well, let's have juniors, seniors, and go trainers arrive at 7:30, so that since they can clearly like register at a separate time, why not just push the Masters players all the way up to the day before and make that mandatory?
Yeah.
Now obviously it's not that easy, right? And ultimately it is still the fault. Like the buck stops with Gaming Gen. It can't just be something that is like, no, you should be able to get here earlier. No, like people need to be able to do this or that or the other thing. It falls to them. They're the organizers of this event. That is their job. They're being hired by the Pokemon Company to make sure that their tournaments go seamlessly and smoothly and are an enjoyable time for players. And they're failing at that. And I want to know how many more times they can fail before the Pokemon Company International says, you're not doing the things we pay you to do. Find work with someone else.
Yeah, absolutely. And
granted, there's contracts and nuance, but that is a concern I have. Sorry, I've spoken a lot. I didn't mean to cut you off. Please continue.
No, absolutely. And I think that is just the main issue is ultimately, it's asking people to, like Boo said, to start their day off by missing out on things, by missing out on sleep, by missing out on
breakfast.
Food.
Two of the most important things that you can do.
Yeah, I remember we started our day, I don't think we left our Airbnb until like 6:30, right? Like, I don't think we left our Airbnb until about 6:30, and it was a quick train ride from there over to the venue, and we were inside by 7, at the absolute latest. It was super quick, super fast, super easy. Getting wristbands felt very easy in Atlanta. And that was one of the biggest events ever. That was one of the biggest Pokemon events ever up to that point, at least. So I'm not entirely sure what is happening right now. I don't know if Gaming Gen is not if they're not meeting the staffing demands, then they need to do better and hire more
Mm-hmm.
to meet the staffing demands. If it's a case of not having venue access early enough, then they need to work out better deals and contracts with the venues that they're hosting at, because that is just as much a part of it too.
Yeah.
If it's about, if it's just about as simple as we need to handle timing better, then they need to find a way to adjust stuff with timing better,
Right.
But there's ways to approach this to fix the problem that they could easily do, or at least start working on, right? I don't want to act like I'm a know-it-all in this category, because I'm definitely not. But I did for a little bit in college. I worked as the title of the position was called building manager for our student center while I was in college. And that just really, what that just entailed was it was a student who was in charge of running various teams through the building to make sure that everything was operating in like the normal day-to-day operations. So it's getting meeting spaces ready with a team that goes and sets stuff up. It's getting a sound and light team in to set up, an auditorium or something like that in the student center. It's getting complaints handled at the front desk. It's getting things turned over, all of that kind of stuff. And just having that like inside look on like, what it takes for some of these events to happen. I can guarantee you that like they are dropping the ball somewhere in, I really would say it's somewhere in the staffing area more than anything, because when I've seen problems happen with events where you have too much bottlenecking outside an event space, or you have too many unhandled things happening, it's almost always a staffing issue. And when staffing issues happen, that's when you really start having things fall apart. That's when I've seen it happen. Like I said, and I don't know the ins and outs of running like a large convention center space, but I do know the ins and outs of, at the very least, seeing what kind of work goes into managing, a 900 person event, and so at the very least, it's a small taste of that. And if a 900 person event has staffing issues, and you can tell when those staffing issues are happening, and you can pinpoint what you need to change, then you should be able to do the same for a multi-thousand person event. You just start expanding the numbers, That's really all it comes down to.
Right. Yeah, and that's like kind of the problem, right? They need to identify what their issue is, which it could be staffing, it could be any other things, and like many other things, but they need to identify it. They need to take accountability for the previous shortcomings, and they need to correct their issues, and they haven't done any of that yet. I also don't want this to set a precedent, right? Imagine a universe where it's now the norm to arrive between 6 and 7:30, like 6:30 and 7:30 to pick up your wristband.
Right, exactly. Like,
people are going to stop going to events as much. Like the real grinders are obviously going to go, but like, I don't want to be up that early.
Well, I'm already thinking of like how it was in Atlanta, right? Like how
it was crazy.
We already had like a busy morning just trying to wake ourselves up and get out the door and take, a 12-minute, commute between walking to a train station, taking a train to, 3 stops over, getting out, and then walking from that station to the convention center. Like, that already is time like spent, and we were doing that waking up at like 5:30, in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning. Like,
to have us be like, oh, we'll actually have to get up at like 3:30, especially when we got in late. That doesn't sound good.
Yeah, especially when people are traveling to these events, right? And most of them are getting there the day before.
Yeah, keep in mind that there are masters who are still in high school.
Yeah, there's masters who are still in high school. There's, there are people who are going to these events who are at such a young age, and who absolutely need more sleep than like the average adult does. You know, I think back to like my time in like high school. I definitely existed on more sleep through high school than I do now.
Yeah.
And I think that's more of a function of just my life than anything else at this point.
True.
But at the same time, you know, it's also like one of those things where it's like, as an adult, like most adults can comfortably, you know, function off of 6 to 8 hours of sleep, right?
Yeah.
But at that age, 14 to 18, you still are growing. You still really need, you know, that 8 to 10 hours every day, if possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's bad enough that's, you know, students go to events or have, you know, busy student lives, right? To go to an event on this thing that's supposed to be exciting and to have to deal with all that stress outside of school life, like for this hobby.
Yeah.
That's just so rough. And then put that on, you know, like your normal day-to-day adults too. It's just, yeah.
It's not fun.
It's so not cool.
Ultimately, we expect more from Gaming Gen and from TPCI. I think they really need to get their act together. And I don't really want to dwell on that too much longer. We've already talked about it for a bit. And we talked about it a lot a couple weeks ago when we talked about more of their shortcomings. So I think, ultimately, like Gaming Gen, do better. Like you respect people's time and money. Thank you. In some more unfortunate news, this will be like the last of the sad news, I think. But this is, I guess, more shortcomings, right? And interesting things to note, which we'll talk about more as the financial side of the Pokemon Company. And is that Pokemon TCG Pocket, a game that we don't really cover normally, their player count and revenue are way, way, way down. This comes to us via Game Rant from Mosen Baggery, where he says Pokemon TCG Pocket's revenue has fallen by about 50%, according to a post on Reddit, which is just tracking Pokemon, like TCG Pocket's player count and revenue stuff.
Yeah.
And
for reference, the post on Reddit was this picture, pretty much. And that's really it.
Yeah. Thank you for the visual. But according to that, its player count, or their revenue has fallen by about 50%, and their player count is dropping by a similar amount. This is only a year into the game. This game came out a year ago. It is clearly a gacha game, but it is drastic for that much of the player base to fall off and that much of the revenue to fall off as well. It is, granted, this is using some iOS player count stuff, so obviously if you're on Android, maybe it's a little different, but I can't imagine that there's like an inverse correlation, right? I can't imagine you're seeing more people are just like, oh, I just don't want to play on Apple, I want to play on Android. That's not the case, right? It's obviously that people are not wanting to play this game. Well, and I can see why.
I was going to say, consider also, this is global numbers, right? I do believe Android is bigger on a global scale than Apple.
Right.
If you look at like branding for like phone branding and stuff like that.
Sure.
So I would honestly expect Android numbers to potentially either trend similar or even larger. You know,
right.
For
like a larger
Play Store compared to App Store. And this might also just be a general average between the two, you know.
Yeah. But yeah, it is it's sad to see, but I get it. People, like, part of the cool part of having like ripping packs for Pokemon cards is you get a card.
Yep.
And you don't get that on Pocket. You get a JPEG or like sometimes a GIF.
Yeah. I mean, the GIFs are cool, to be fair, but you can also just watch those on YouTube, you know, if you really want to. Like,
exactly. Yeah,
like, people will say that about the cards, but at the very least, like, if I get a card, I have that art.
I have a piece of the game as well.
It's not like, yeah, exactly. Like, yes, I can go look at the image on the computer. You know, I can look at it on my phone. But at the end of the day, you know, no one can tell me that this Spearow, right? I have this, right? I'm not looking at this on my phone. This isn't, you know,
it's a piece that you have in your hand.
Not in the middle of my phone screen right here. It is, it is literally in my hand. So,
yeah, no, I get it. It's weird for people to be talking like that. But yeah, so It's not sad for me. I don't really have much pity for TCG Pocket because I don't think it's a good game.
No, terrible.
But
gachas are, at the end of the day, gachas are money grabs. That's what their purpose are. The gaming culture behind them, and I get why like Pokemon and the Pokemon Company does it. It's because, you know, it originates in Japan, and gachas are insanely popular in Japan. It's a popular game type in Japan, and that's fine. But consider like the worldwide impact of that, right? Now we're like going into other, like Japan has much laxer gambling laws, really and truly, right?
Right.
Like you just got to be, I think you just got to be like 20 and up to go gamble at like a pachinko hall, you know. Otherwise you're chill, you know. Like there's no other issues with that, right? In comparison, we have companies, you know, we have companies that are, you know, under fire for, you know, putting these games out and putting loot boxes in games and, you know, being considered gambling, which they are. And it's fine if that's the culture there, but at the same time, I think that, you know, Pokemon is a worldwide brand. They do have to start considering stuff and the impact and implications of their stuff worldwide. They've already taken out gambling references in video games. The last game we got any sort of gambling in was Heart Gold and Soul Silver, I believe.
Yeah. Well, and think about this. They've also censored
like
a lot of...
That was a skill game.
Yeah, and they've also censored a lot of like Pokemon cards with gambling references on them.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
When translating from Japanese to English.
Yeah, one of the big things actually in the recent years, a lot of those Game Corner special like deck boxes, deck mats, those kinds of things that got released last year did not make it here to the US, as far as I'm aware. And I maybe I'm wrong, maybe I just didn't see it, but I don't believe any of them made it here to the US. And I think it's because that they're concerned of, you know, hitting gambling laws potentially in you know, imaging and advertising and that sort of thing. So yeah, ultimately not too upset to see, like really and truly not too upset to see this, but it's just kind of goes to show, like at the end of the day, this was ultimately more or less a cash grab. The diehards will still play it because, you know, they'll justify throwing their money at it with, you know, whatever reason, and they'll justify playing a coin flip simulator, and that's fine if that's what you want to do. But
yeah, well, and it's there's two things to say about this. For starters, like we don't have anywhere telling us that like TCG, a lot of people like originally were cool about Pocket because they're like, oh, what if they'll use this money to subsidize the TCG? There was never any indication that was going to happen or was happening. If that is the case, transparency would be warranted. But that's probably not the case. It's probably just like, oh, we wanted money, so we made this this collection simulator with like a very neutered version of the trading card game attached to it.
Yeah.
There is that.
I've seen cooler versions. I'm gonna be like I'm going on a slight tangent here, but I've literally seen cooler versions of Pocket on Cube Coca, honestly.
Wow.
If for the listeners who aren't aware, Cube Coca is a website that lets players curate cubes for playing the card game, and there's various. You can upload your own. You can put together your own. Literally, like, I mean, these are some cool cubes here, where it's just like this one from Jake Gearhart, with like we've got. Here, I'm gonna share my screen on this really, and just to give you like an idea of the level of thought that's gone into this, right? But we've got like here, this is a King Gambit in the cube, right? With just a damage mod on it and an attack, right? It's nothing super special. We've got some GX Pokemon, and I know that there's like an overview with like rules list and everything, and I think like the rules list includes stuff like, you know, 2 prizes, and it changes up stuff to match Pocket. But like the level of depth that you can go to make the card game like Pocket and be better than Pocket because of that. is really, really cool. Like, it's really, really cool. So, you know, I think at the end of the day, if the Pokemon Company wanted to make, if they truly wanted to make something like Pocket and make an accessible version of the game, just make a new format. Honestly, just back a new format, right?
Yeah.
Like, we've left like expanded behind. You know, we're just doing standard now. Like, back a new format. You know, I think that would be a more fun way to try to engage people who don't know a lot, right? Back a new format that's like a low value, you know, low dollar investment format instead, and let people go nuts.
Yeah,
you'll probably get a lot better engagement with Pokemon as a property. I don't know.
Yeah. Once again, though, I think this was a cash grab, and I it's not going anywhere, certainly, but it's I hope if it was subsidizing the TCG proper, I'd jump on and play it, but it's not. So that copium needs to end. And then, like, furthermore, if this game does not make it, I'm cool with that, because I also can't tell you how many times I've had friends be like, "Oh, this TCG Pocket card rips. I wish I could have it in real life."
Well,
so like, when the coolest part of your game is the card art, but it's just an image.
Remember, some of the card art was also not when it first came out. Some of the card art wasn't original to Pocket. It was card art that was brought into Pocket, and they have later gotten artists to do exclusive Pocket art for cards.
No, even in the first set, there was like Akira's that were like, they were exclusive, and they're still reusing old arts from previous cards in the real TCG. And it's nice that they're having artists have work, but put them in the real game. Don't make this gotcha where you're going to start losing money before too long. That doesn't respect people's time or money. That's just a collection simulator. I think it's appropriate that this game loses players, and I just don't think it's something that they needed to like do at the moment, when like, even we've had it for a year and we've seen the value of this game is like, oh, look at the pretty pictures. Put those pictures in the real TCG, man. Free pack opening is not enough to continue a game. So I don't know. That's all I have to say about that. If you want to see more about that, there's a Game Rant article. You can also check the original Reddit posts. You'll be able to find that stuff out. But moving on from that, there's some more fun stuff to talk about today. And the first is actually some really exciting way you can get some new product. Now, this is a little sadder if you can't get your hands on product. This is less fun, but it is noteworthy. This is coming to us via PokeBeach, that there have been some packs of Phantasmal Flames seen in the wild. And this is well ahead of launch, so it doesn't. Phantasmal Flames is going to launch November 14th in the States. And there's been some stuff there was a fan who received a Mega Evolution Psyduck blister that contained a Phantasmal Flames booster pack and a Spanish Mega Evolution pack. There were also another fan who got some Destined Rivals blisters, and one of them had a Phantasmal Flames pack. And so, it's so interesting.
I remember seeing a post on Reddit actually about this as well, maybe a week ago, something like that. Someone got a Phantasmal Flames pack, and they pulled the Mega Lopunny EX SIR out of that. And then
I'm seeing. Go ahead.
I was going to say, in this same PokeBeach article, someone posted pictures of the gold Charizard EX or Mega Charizard EX from Phantasmal Flames as well. That they pulled out of a pack that they got in their Mega Evolutions. Their Mega Evolutions. What was it?
ETB. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is not looking great. It's not looking great for their quality assurance team, But it's important to remember, like this article states, they're printing at an all-time high. They have never I remember there was a staggering statistic. It was like the percentage of like Pokemon cards that have been printed just since 2020. And it was something ludicrous. But they're printing a lot of cards right now and a lot of packs, and they're well ahead of the game.
Yeah. They, with the purchases and the issues that we've seen with scalping, in the more recent months and really in the last year, honestly, with the cards, right? They have to, at a certain point, they have to stay as far ahead as they can. So it's not surprising that they're already printing out Phantasmal Flames packs. I wouldn't be surprised if they are gearing up on the print cycle for the set after Phantasmal at this point.
Yeah, I'm sure they are.
Like, if they aren't printing those already, they're getting ready for it. So the facts that, these packs are ending up in these sets means they're working so hard and fast on this that the QA going into stuff at the printing side of things is starting to take a dip. And that's not great, unfortunately. I know that the people who QA for these printers and the printing companies, they don't work directly for Pokemon, right? They all are part of, a contracted printing company that print tons of products in large print cycles for other companies,
Yeah.
But there is an issue of it where TPCI probably needs to get with these companies and maybe see what they can do to start increasing that QA process, because otherwise you're going to have more issues like this. And it's I don't think it's like the worst thing in the world to happen, but it is going to create some issues, I think, with your products when some of this stuff starts making its way into the wild. Because now you will have people who are absolutely going to try and sell something that's like, at this point, technically, it's like a priceless card, right? Like that gold Charizard is priceless right now because there's no others,
Right, there's no population available for them.
Like, there's no others, so that card is easily worth thousands right now, technically.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, I don't know. That's just where my mind goes, at least with it, is immediately just the QA issues.
Yeah, there's been a lot of QA issues, and it is exciting for us as fans of the game to be like, oh my god, I can get the gold Mega Charizard X EX early and nobody can have it. Like, imagine being the guy who pulls that, by the way.
Oh my god.
The one guy that did get that card, like, that guy is eating.
Yeah, but that dude has a memory forever. That's
that's a core memory. Especially if that's like a kid, dude. If that's a kid,
oh my god,
you're over the moon. You're gonna be legendary on like the playground. People are gonna be like, dude, Timmy pulled the unreleased set of Pokemon cards and then got a gold Mega Charizard X EX. It's like, holy smokes. Imagine me that kid.
Gets framed, honestly. Like you get that into your top into your sleeve, into your top loader, and you frame that top loader.
Truly, yeah. So it's exciting for that, but it is indicative of a problem going on at the company, and so it's noteworthy to make sure that they're careful of that, to make sure that we're getting some proper QA happening. But otherwise, it's a pretty exciting time. The hype is building for Phantasmal Flames. I'm really stoked about it. I hope they can keep it up. Anything else on that before we move on?
I got nothing else. The only issue is unfortunately at the end of the day, this all still is related to sealed product, and sealed product is so hard to get right now.
Yeah,
that's neither here nor there.
Right. I hope we can continue to get some sealed product, some more good things out of that. But in the meantime, we'll have to wait for the Pokemon Company to do better and have better workers. And some of that means getting new workers, which leads us into our next thing. I want you guys to understand the work and love that I have for this show real quick. I have gotten so many spam texts in the last months since signing up for I got like a second Indeed account because I wanted this to just be what I use to like look at Pokemon's Indeed postings so that I can see their job postings. And I get texts and emails from Indeed all the time. Even though I've unsubscribed, they're like, here, have another one. But this is all just so I can get you guys the news about what TBCI is hiring for. And there's a lot of cool stuff. I'm looking right now at several jobs just in the last 2 weeks that are indicative that they're making changes that are worth making. So the first couple that are worth looking at right now, I mean, some like senior executive levels, but another really important one that I'm seeing right now is, here we go. So they've got a automated retail technical operations engineer hiring. Like that position is hiring, which sounds to me like somebody who would work with like what, the bots for retail or like systems in the online retail service.
I think that might be the case. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go look at this.
Be a key player in ensuring seamless operation of our vending machine network. Oh, this is about their vending machines. Interesting.
So this might be on the level machines. This might be something to maybe approach the issue of either distributing more vending machines to locations or potentially creating a system. I mean, this is me like dreamboating here about it, but it's like potentially a system that takes a look at who's using the vending machines and locks someone out of using it after you've made a certain number of purchases, you know?
Yeah. No, that'd be so sick. Other like taxes and like accountant stuff going on, a brand services project manager. There's a bilingual project manager for Japanese and English having to do with games. So obviously they're gearing up for another cycle of video games with Legends ZA coming out 2 days ago, right? Or today? I don't remember.
When did ZA come out?
Yeah, what the heck? Look that up for me real quick while I'm reading this job listing. But as this software as the software development engineer in test, the job is ensuring the highest quality of products are provided to internal and external customers, testing automation and tool development to validate Pokemon digital products and internal services are of the highest quality.
ZA is coming out on the 16th. So if you are listening to this episode now,
if you're listening on free feeds,
the free feed launch, then ZA came out today.
Yeah, sweet.
And if you're not, then ZA comes out on Thursday.
Yeah. But yeah, so they're obviously like getting back in the game dev cycle. They have been getting into the game dev cycle. We get a new game every 3 years without fail. So we'll get a new game soon.
There was another one that was interesting. I saw a royalty account position.
Oh yeah,
that's kind of interesting. A royalty accountant would, based on this information and kind of like what I'm understanding of it, you would be in charge of handling licensing of the games and licensing of the product, I guess. So I don't know if this is someone who's maybe there to pursue legal action for misuse of the product, or if it's someone who is looking to pursue cross-company contracts, because Pokemon is not afraid to do cross-company contracts. They love partnering with other companies to get merchandise out there. What was it? Uniqlo. Uniqlo is like a huge one that they work and collaborate with. Uniqlo will collaborate with a lot of brands for some really cool stuff in general. I've got a pretty cool Uniqlo shirt that's like a Fatal Fury.
Nice.
It's a Fatal Fury shirt, so it just says Fatal Fury on the front, and then it's like the back is like pixel arty arcade cabinet.
Oh, that's cool.
It's so cool. Yeah, and it's got like the buttons and the it's a cool shirt. I really like it a lot.
Yeah.
A really good friend of mine got it for me. But yeah, it would be interesting to see kind of how this one works out with something like this, with like with a royalty account, someone who is handling licenses.
Dude, you know what this also has a chance of being?
Ooh, yes.
And this is silly. This is also me tinfoil hatting right now, so take it with a grain of salt. But if you'll remember, in the 25-year celebration mark for Pokemon, they collaborated with Converse.
Oh, okay.
So what I would love to see is we get a 30-year anniversary collab with Converse again. Get some new Chucks with Pokemon on them. I think that'd be really, really sick. I would love that. I love Pokemon. I love Converse. Converse are some of the most comfortable shoes on the planet. I pretty much exclusively wear Converse, Vans, and Adidas.
Yep.
If I can. I've got my Comme des Garçons Chucks that I wear all the time, and I've got like just some other like Vans, but mostly it's the Comme des Garçons Converse, and they're so nice. Yeah. Also, they just put out good quality stuff. Their shoes are great. I've got a Tyler the Creator Converse hoodie. It freaking rocks. So comfy.
Yeah. I mean, it's a timeless shoe. You know, it would be really cool to see that. I will say, as a millennial, super excited to see a Converse collab if it happens, because I don't think that my main day-to-day sneakers for the most part have been anything other than Vans or Converse for the last few years. You know, so
I'm locking it in now, though. I'm calling it. I think this job opening is indication that we're gonna get a 30-year collab with Converse, and it's gonna be sick.
Alrighty. Super sick.
I'm locking that in. Put this down in the predictions so that we can come back to this.
Got another Glenn predictions. Let's go.
It's gonna be great. I'm gonna. These are always so high risk, but then if I'm right, it's another tally on the Glenn is always right board, and that's my favorite thing. That's the best feeling on the planet. So I'll take the risk.
All the wrong ones.
Yeah,
I don't think we keep track of those.
Yeah, they don't exist. But folks, let us know in the comments what you think this could be. If there is, or I guess like what's a dream collaboration from the Pokemon Company and somebody else. John, who do you think what this could be, or is it something we've seen before? Is it something brand new?
Honestly,
they do a lot of apparel companies.
I would say it's probably another apparel company, and maybe, you know what? It's really hard to say. Given the kind of the nature of like the new stuff coming out, kind of maybe I'm gonna branch off of like the games, and more specifically like the new ZA kind of future-y design. They might be doing another Unicola thing, or they might be doing like maybe like a Super Dry collab. That'd be cool. I'm a Super Dry is another I think it's another brand that originates in Japan, so it wouldn't be too weird for them to get that as a collab. And Super Dry makes some sick stuff. So
I wonder if we would get comics ever.
Ooh.
With like the art style they've been doing for the Mega Evolution. Maybe this is just copium for the art style.
Oh, that'd be super sick.
But like some comics for the Mega Evolutions cards would be amazing.
Oh man, we're just
speculating, of course, sick. But like it's really exciting to think about. I love like seeing Pokemon stuff. It's cool to see Pokemon in other stuff. I always feel like I should have more Pokemon clothes, or just like more games clothes. Like I want some more Halo merch lately a lot. But of course Pokemon is what this show's about, so we'll keep it to that. But yeah, lots of really exciting stuff for the job openings at PCI. Do you have anything to say about this before we move on to some? Okay,
not particularly. You know, it's just cool. It's cool to see new stuff happening with them always.
Yeah, always exciting to see that and speculate on what it might mean for the company. The next thing I want to talk about is, it's a little later in the show than it normally is, but we're talking about the biggest price spikes this week as of 10/8, so last Wednesday.
Yes.
The article came a little on a weird rhythm, but the biggest price spikes in the Pokemon this week. This is an article from TCG Player via Corbin Hostler. And it is some interesting trends this week. So we're looking at, number one is that Seismitoad from Black Bolt, that SIR. Yeah, clocking in at 204.36.
I think we talked about this recently, or maybe it was another. We
did.
Was it this one?
I think it was this one. I'll have to look back into their record here.
Yeah, but it might have been a different one. Same artist, different art, potentially.
Possibly so.
Talked about.
I think if it was anything, it was going to be last week, or perhaps the week before.
I think it would have been the week before.
It was maybe the Moonbryon episode. Yes, it was in the episode where we talked about, it was like Moonbryon, Charizard VMAX, Rayquaza VMAX, and then Seismitoad. It went up to I forget what exactly. It had jumped pretty high. I don't have what we said on there. I think it was maybe this jump from like 150 to 200. But we talked about the artist, which is of course who is that? I can't zoom in. I'm dumb and I don't know the name. I'm ashamed.
Oh, it's a Conda artwork.
Oh yeah. It's so good. It's really awesome artwork. This is obviously the same artist responsible for Giratina V alternate art. Lots of really impactful cards. That Magikarp 203 from Paldea Evolved. Lots of really cool card arts.
Those are the full arts, by the way. You know, that's like ignoring like the standard, you know, just art that goes onto like regular cards. Like the I know one of the ones we talked about recently that you really like is
Duraludon?
the Duraludon. Yeah, the Duraludon that's coming in Phantasmal Flames, I think.
Dude, and even the Sandshrew in Mega Evolution looks beautiful.
Yeah, the old Carablast is another good one. Like, it's just, there's tons of cards like that from Shinji Kanda, and it's just like, holy, like, you just get these cool, trippy arts, and it looks so good, man. Yeah.
It's really cool. It's cool to see this sitting at a higher price than it has been before. I'm really excited about it.
We'll go on to the next one.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. You had started saying something.
I was just saying it's always cool to see, you know, the Shinji Kanda art, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Doing good. But
these next three are all kind of together, which is interesting.
Yeah. USG-Man, who did Bubble Mew, the Solosis from Black Bolt and White Flare, and the Surging Sparks Clobopus.
Which is such a sick card, by the way. We'll talk about that in a second, but that's my personal.
All these have had some kind of big spikes over the last week, and they seem to have dipped a little more recently. But these arts are just fun anyway. These are such cool arts. Bubble Mew is always going to be ridiculous. It's an insanely rare card from an insanely hard to get set at this point.
Yep.
And I would love to have a copy of this. I would play a copy of this just to make people mad.
Yeah. I would play this every day, dude. I'd be riffle shuffling this guy. Yeah.
Dude is gonna get some whitening and maybe a bend. Who knows?
I'm folding him in half, dude. I'm scooping up queso with that guy.
Ooh.
In a sleeve. I'm not an animal. But what's interesting is we're also getting more Paldea and Fates products coming out in the near future. So Bubble Mew going up in price is interesting. Now, granted, this price spike is recording back to like early year stuff because now it's sitting comfortably at $637.93. But it is kind of plateauing right now.
It even kind of dipped a little bit in September, so it's at like a good even plateau right now. I think like, you know, I'm never gonna go out and try to buy this card. That's too much, but it's cool to see like this artwork in general. I love like the design. I love this Clobopus. This is just such a fun art design right here. This dude is just punching a bottle.
He's just he's bonking everything, dude.
He's hitting everything. Yeah, dude is living up to his name. It's you know what? It's a fun card. It's cute artwork. And I could never hate something like this. So I love like finding like a cute random artwork like this. The Solosis is just chilling, dude. It's just there.
That is a very Adventure Time-esque art on that Solosis. But that one quadrupled in price. It went from $11 to like $11 and some change to $63, and it's dipping a little now. It's sitting right now at $42.68, but it jumped up.
I don't know if this is just like there's a huge like a sudden interest in like USG-Man's art, or if this is just maybe some mixed market manipulation. You know, I would almost want to venture it's a little bit of market manipulation, given that like these prices are like spiking, you know, 4 times from here to here, and then suddenly dropping back to half of what the spike is, you know. Same with the Solosis, like you said, you know, going from 16 to nearly 70, right?
Yeah.
Like, and then dropping back down by like 20 or 30%, 33%, you know. So I don't know. I think it's like a bit of mixed manipulation, but
yeah, it's probably both. But yeah, very cool arts. Yeah. All 3 of those. I do love this Clobopus. This Clobopus is it is so darling. Like oh
yeah,
it's very much just like, because like Solosis is sitting there. Bubble Mew has its whole scene going on. Solosis is sitting there. Clobopus is clobbering. Like he's doing his thing. His head is empty. So I love
empty, only punch.
Yeah, truly. I love seeing that. It's super cool.
Yeah.
And then we kind of get like a tonal shift for the last couple cards on this list. Because these are all the ones that you like. These are the usual suspects. These are nothing surprising. Except for maybe
gold Mega Lucario here. This isn't, you know, it's not too crazy to expect this card to just go bananas. They even put I'm not going to pull up the image, but they've got a new symbol now for these like gold Mega Evolution cards. If you go and look at them, there's this diamond here that's completely different from everything else. You know what? I will open it and shift our selves over to this one.
Yeah, try to zoom in on that for me if you can.
So if you're at home and you're seeing this blurry image right here
on YouTube,
on YouTube, which is going to artifact the crap out of this.
Yeah, actually, Spotify has video too, so you should be able to see it there as well.
Oh, true. It's true. Yeah, this is a new symbol, and it looks like some sort of like circle inside a diamond that's kind of got these curved edges. And I'm sure.
Oh, it's a G inside the diamond.
Quality. Is it a G?
Perhaps. Kind of looks like it.
Oh, I can see what you're saying. Yeah,
like a gold rare.
The negative space. Oh, maybe that's it. Regardless, it's really cool. It's clearly a new symbol that they're using. And yeah, this card is always going to be like this expensive. It's probably not going to go down too much. It'll go down a bit, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see it's the golds, because I guess they are like really, really rare. You're not even guaranteed one of these in a case, from what I hear. But
yeah, these are insane. My speculation is like the money, the driving force behind this one is just it's the collector scene more than it's like the player scene or anything like that. Like as a player, if you were gonna play something with one of these, like it'd be so sick to have this, right? Like have this Mega Gardevoir. That would be sick.
Yeah.
And I could see like playing this, right? You got your one of Mega Gardevoir.
Right.
I'm probably not playing this, dude.
Listen,
this is
man, I'm not playing the Craft American single on. I'm not doing that, especially in Mega Lucario. That is just not a deck I foresee needing to do that in. Give me a regular art, or even give me this like weird like portal looking art that they've got going on, or what it kind of looks like. No, the one on the Mega Lucario, like it looks kind of like he's coming out of a portal. Give me that. Yeah. Give me that in not this color scheme.
Yeah, the gold is too just jarring, unfortunately. So it's the collectors driving this one, because no one who's interested in art is trying to jack the price up on this. Oh man, but the Mega Gardevoir, this one at least I think it's dropped, and I think it's only going to stay down here until later on in its life, and it'll probably go up a little bit again. But this art is so cool. This is absolutely just an amazingly well done piece of art for this one, in my opinion. Just such a big fan of like this design. So I guess we can jump to the next card though.
Yeah, this is the one that surprised me.
It's a little surprising, but I think this one is indicative of the meta, actually, for once, rather than the driving force being the collector side of things. Ceruledge EX is on an absolute tear in Standard right now. It is one of the strongest aggro decks that exists right now. It's fast. It is faster than Golden Go, and it doesn't even it doesn't draw nearly as much as Golden Go in that sense. Like it does, but it doesn't. It's an absolute menace of a card now, and it's in one of those perfect storm situations. But this card jumping from this $90 price point roughly to 120, like jumping $30 all of a sudden out of nowhere.
It's a 33% really, really increase. Cool. That's pretty crazy.
Right? That's so sick. I mean, I love this art too. This is such an insane artwork right here.
The art rips, but like this is one of those few times that like the game is what's making a card really jump, and I love seeing that happen. So shout out to the Ceruledge EX being a really cool card from Prismatic Evolution, sitting comfortably at 119.78. Like that's pretty good, and it's cool to see the game impacting the collector scene. Because they impact us all the time, and they never see the issue. But now we get to mess with them. It's fun.
Flip it around.
All in jest, of course, but it's fun to have our turn. And then next year, last but not least on this list is this Palpitoad from Scarlet Violet Black Bolt. I'm not exactly sure why this is so popular, but I think I don't know. I truly don't. Well, actually, this article here says. This is a spoiler, I guess, for Phantasmal Flames, but there's a Wigglytuff coming in Phantasmal Flames that has the round attack.
Yeah, so they're saying there's this Wigglytuff in Phantasmal Flames has round, which I don't think that's it, right? Round only works when the other Pokemon, what is it? It's for each Pokemon in play that has round as an attack. Which right now, you can only have probably 4 in play. Yeah. Like I don't think there's a way to cheat out a Seismitoad. Well, there you can cheat out you can rare candy, but you can't get anything more than like at the very least it's always going to be 4 Tempoles before you get anything else. So it's either Temple, Palpitoad, or Seismitoad using round.
Right.
That said, I don't think that attack is the driving force behind.
I don't think so either.
This card going up. I think this
isn't Night March,
Yeah. People will play United Wings before they play this.
Yeah, no one's playing the round
United
deck.
Wings is stronger than round is. So, and we're not seeing huge United Wings numbers. So, this is a bad take on this in this article, unfortunately, on that one. I think it's more just that this is a good art. It's from a set that is seeing a lot of these jumps all of a sudden. And then I think that honestly, it's probably just like what we said before, a little bit of market manipulation with some pump and dump to see if people can, jack a price up as high as it'll go, $6 up to $23. Yeah, sure. Let's make it work,
Yeah, truly.
4 times as much.
Yeah, crazy, man. Crazy. So whatever the reason, it's gotten some pretty good traction on it. So maybe we'll see some more new cards start to jump up, or maybe see some new artists, some more artists that get a lot of their artwork put on display because of some market stuff. As usual, this is not financial advice at all. This is just noteworthy stuff. If you want to sell your collectible cards, sell them. If you don't. If you're looking for new artists to collect from, this is a great place to find them. If you want to find the expensive ones first, I guess. But yeah, that's all for that. Anything else to talk about out of this list? Do you have a favorite card on this list?
I mean, my favorite's going to be the Ceruledge. That card looks so sick, and I am an unapologetic Ceruledge enjoyer. It's an edgy Pokemon. It looks cool. Yeah. So yeah,
I get it. No, I get it. I like that card a lot. For me, I think it's probably the Clobopus, but I totally get the Ceruledge hype and the Gardevoir hype too. That's a sick card.
Gardevoir is a really sick card.
Cool.
I can totally understand the hype on that one.
Yeah. Well, with that said, Let us move swiftly on. The next thing we wanted to really talk about here is there's some Victory Road news. Or I guess the Victory Road news is just actually us congratulating all the winners of the tournaments lately. So we've got a couple of them. We've got, first of all, this is breaking as we were recording. Jackson Ford won the Milwaukee Regional Tournament with Charizard Pidgeot versus Aban Ahmed on Gardevoir. So that is really, really interesting. And we'll talk more about that top cut in a moment, maybe. We'll spend a little bit of time on it if we've got time. We're already at an hour in, so we'll see. But I wanted to briefly step in and talk about some VGC stuff. Congratulations to Alex Arand and Renzo Navarro, because Alex won Milwaukee and Renzo won Belo Horizonte. Both of those at their regional levels, respectively, with very similar team builds. They both are on like safety goggles Incineroar. It's like an Incineroar, Alolan Ninetales, and Rillaboom core with Hisuian Sneasler in there. Oh, and I guess Blood Moon too. These are actually almost identical teams, except for the Volcarona versus the Golden Go, and a couple of other like minuscule things. But largely very similar teams. Obviously, those were both really well positioned teams. They're like, it was a really balanced team build for both of them. So congrats to those two players on their regional wins. We're trying to include more VGC stuff just to learn more about it. I think we'll probably start seeing more of that in the new year when Champions is the official game, because that'll be when I'm able to actually start playing. So that's gonna be really exciting. Please look forward to it.
Yeah, actually super excited about that. I don't want to like go on a huge tangent about it, but I do think that's it's really cool. I'm glad that we're gonna have a ton more of accessibility for VGC in Pokemon.
Yeah, super exciting stuff. So congrats to those players in VGC. I don't have anybody else to congratulate right this second because I am not focusing on it quite yet. But yeah, again, congrats to Jackson Ford. It was a really interesting top cut. Lots of Gardevoir, one Grimmsnarl that's placed really well, an awesome Charizard deck. And I don't want to spend too long on this. Maybe we talk about this in like a bonus or something.
Yeah,
there's a really interesting deck going around that uses Mega Absol and Mega Kangaskhan. It is a Tord Reklev special.
That is
so
correct.
Take that for what it's worth, I guess.
Yeah, it's an interesting deck. And if you're subscribed on Patreon, you might just be able to get a sneak peek of some discussion about this deck. And if not, then subscribe and get a sneak peek.
Yeah, get a sneak peek. This is what we're going to be talking about in the bonus, is the structure of this deck and why it's good. Spoilers, I guess. But weird to see that deck in 3 of the top 8 slots. Rare Tord Reklev W, in my opinion.
Yes.
Oh
my god.
Because he is finally is out of his dry spell, it seems. But yeah, we'll talk about that on Patreon. That'll be really fun.
Goes to the Tord Jack meme. If you know,
dude,
you
I
know.
love Tord Jack. If you know, you know. But yeah, super cool finalists. The finals in TCG was actually just 2-0 Jackson.
Yeah, I mean,
Aban just could not get it together. So
I don't want to spend a ton of time on it, but honestly, that feels appropriate for a Charizard deck beating a Guardy deck in general. Like, you don't have a lot of recourse if you're the Guardy player, because the second Guardy comes down, Charizard immediately has a 2-prizer that it can take out, and Guardy, the current builds have a really hard time into Charizard. So it'll be interesting to see if the kind of resurgence of Charizard and some of these megas maybe pushes Guardy back towards putting the Drifloon back in.
Yeah,
I think that's the big thing that it's missing right now to really win against those kinds of decks.
Yep. Well, I saw Aban was running with Enamorous, which was interesting.
Which one is that?
I'll have to look it up on PokemonCards.com. But it's not good, by the way, for the record. It's not a good card. I think he totally fumbled, or like was trying to do it for a friend.
Is it that Twilight Masquerade one?
I think so. Yes. In Twilight Masquerade. Yeah. In
this is not great. Love Resonance, attack 1 psychic, 2 colorless, 80 plus if any of your Pokemon in play are the same type as any of your opponent's Pokemon in play. This attack does 120 more damage. So I guess this is like, I'd assume this is like, oh, I need a 1-prizer that can punch for 200-ish.
This is 200 when your opponent plays Monkey Dory.
Which, yeah, that's really what it is. Which just, that doesn't seem great. Like, yeah, you're going to use your Monkey Dory to bounce the damage back, so you can swing like.
You can swing for 210,
maybe even 290.
Yeah,
at maxed out numbers, but so bad. don't
yeah,
play this.
This feels bad. This feels like a bad card. Although it does have the Looney Tunes art, which goes crazy. So
I forgot about that one. Yeah, it does have this cool Looney Tunes art. Let me.
By Goto Minori.
Yeah,
pull that art up.
Go look that up. Oh, okay.
If you
okay.
can.
Yeah,
Or are you not already on? Yeah, just pull it up if you got a second. It's a
yeah.
it's a really sick art though. It's not I don't think it's a great attack. Being able to have another option for 280, 290 plus with Monkey Dory movement is cool. Especially one that you don't have to put it to like Dusknor or like Duskull or what is it? Dusclops range or like Monkey Dory range for a knockout. I think that's really cool stuff. But I think this is ultimately a bad card. I don't think it's worth using.
This is a terrible card, but this art is really cool. Very very Looney Tunes esque. This is
the only reason you should play it in Gardevoir though.
Oh my god, this is Cartoon Network Saturday morning special right here.
That's the Johnny Test Enamorous.
It really is.
Looks crazy. Absolutely wild.
Oh my god.
Sheesh. Oh man. Lots of news today. We kind of talked about it all kind of at length. Let's move swiftly on into what we've been playing. And I'll let you start with this because you've got some really cool stuff to talk about. I have a little less. I've been not super busy playing.
I mean, big thing for me has been live dropped GLC in the trainer trials. If you're listening to this in free feeds, you still have 1 week left to go play the GLC format on live. I guess it's live's GLC format, which is Sun and Moon on, not Black and White on, but it's still a fun format. I still kind of enjoy like the live version of Expanded and GLC because it plays a little differently. You don't have a lot of the same stuff, but you have most of it, right? So it still plays like at 90%. It's still fun though. So I've been doing that. I've been pretty exclusively doing Lost Zone Psychic in that.
Yeah.
It's the best. Lost Zone Psychic is the best deck where when you hit your win con, like once you hit the numbers in the Lost Zone and you have the Sableye on board, it just feels like you can't lose. I literally had a game that I was running last night while I was playing a little bit, and I spent turn after turn getting cards in the Lost Zone and using the Uxie to ping 20 damage across the board every turn, and I would just get it back from the discard with various recovery whatnot cards, and my opponent got down. I was playing someone who was playing a grass deck. They were doing, what were they doing? I mean, it was basically like standard like grass, they were doing Meganium, Rillaboom. They had the Torterra active pretty early, and so that thing is like a monster to get through. But I'd pinged like 80 to it through the game, and then I finally get to Sableye because Sableye and Colress had both been prized, and that was like that's so rough. I finally get to it, and my opponent's taken 4 of their prizes, and I get the Sableye out and I get it set and everything, and then immediately they just concede. And it's like that's what that deck feels like, is when you're in the driver's seat suddenly and you flip the game back around with Lost Zone GLC. It just feels like suddenly your opponent now has to face down a cannon right in their face that's about to end
because
them.
the problem is they don't have to face one Sableye, right? They have to get through like 3 Sableyes to win.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And by then their board's been picked apart.
Yeah, like absolutely that Torterra was going to go next turn, and they had other stuff that already had damage on it. Not to mention, I had Monkey Dory, and I can bring back the Gengar, and if they're not knocking stuff out and they place damage on the board instead, that's more damage that's just going back to their side, and they have to deal with Spell Tag and Horror Energy, also throwing damage around. Like, it is a nightmare with that much like damage spread. I see people who will play like the Psychic Damage Spread deck, and not to knock that deck because it's a cool deck, but it does not compete with this one. Like, Sableye is tactical. Like, the Psychic Damage Spread deck, just it feels like a damage spread deck. You're aiming for things, you're spreading damage around, you're eventually going to take some KOs here and there. Sableye is like I said, it is tactical, it is surgical. You are going straight for the throat with that one. Like, you simply just find the weakest link or the thing that needs to go down first, and you pinpoint it and you take it out, and your opponent doesn't have much room otherwise. God, it's so fun.
It's really cool.
No, go ahead. I was messing with that. Sorry, I was messing with that, and then I messed a little bit around with an idea I had recently of doing Swim Freely as an archetype in GLC, and I came to realize I kind of knew already it was like bad Hydro Pump, but like it's bad Hydro Pump.
Oh no!
It's actually it's because like Seaking is the Hydro Pumper, and Seaking's cool, right? Like, the Seaking is really good. The problem is that the other two Pokemon with Swim Freely attacks are a Seadra and a Dugong. And the Dugong is cool in the sense that it's like a 40 time. It takes 2 ice or 2 water energy attached to it to attack, and then you can shuffle as much water energy from any of your Pokemon back into the deck as you want, and then do 40 times that amount that you shuffled back in. And that's a really cool concept. The problem is in GLC, and especially on live, you have only like a couple of cards that are getting energy out of your deck and into your hand for you to use, right? And then so that's the Dugong, and then the Seadra is like 1 water energy, but for every water energy attached to it, you can ping 20 times that amount to any of your opponent's Pokemon. So you can like put full water energy on it and then snipe to the bench for 80, and like, but it's not strong enough, unfortunately. And so I was trying that out, and I even tried, like, I had some cool inclusions with that, like the Kingdra, right? The Kingdra from Lost Origin has like a really cool, and I thought like, oh, this will actually be a really cool inclusion because Water doesn't have like a great draw engine for the live version of GLC, unfortunately. Because you don't. No, it does. If you're playing,
Shady Dealings would like a word.
Well, like, you have Shady Dealings, but you don't have Abyssal Hand Octillery, right? So you are suffering. But the Kingdra kind of lets you get a little bit past that, because Kingdra has a mini. It's a mini self Marnie. You shuffle your hand, put it to the bottom, and then draw 4.
Or you can do it to your opponent either.
You can also choose to do that to your opponent. So it's a mix. It's a cool mix of like, do I want to help myself out? I need some more cards, maybe, or I need new cards and my hand is dead. Or it's like, oh, I know my opponent has this in hand. Let me mess with their hand setup a little bit and buy myself a turn, potentially. So like, in theory, that's a cool inclusion, but then you have to go away from one of your Swim Freely attackers. So the deck is just bad Hydro Pump, unfortunately.
That is unfortunate. It says here on our document you've been playing the Walls deck as well. Tell me about that.
Yeah. So we were talking for our listeners at home. We were kind of all chatting a little bit over Discord the last couple of days about maybe what kind of decks we would think would have been good at Milwaukee, but also just what seems really good in the format right now. And then after seeing some of the day one stuff at Milwaukee, especially, Totally called it, by the way, I want to say. Grimmsnarl, fantastic deck right now.
Yeah, true.
It is in such a good spot right now after being in such a bad spot for the last format. Its current standing is so strong, so that's really cool.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, Walls is probably really strong right now with a lot of these big basic mega Pokemon suddenly running around. The Kangaskhan is an absolute menace of a card, a lot stronger than I think people were predicting, as both a support option and an attacking option. So it was like, it made me think, well, that's good right now. Charizard's really good right now. Basics and ability Pokemon are really good right now.
Yeah.
Like basic EXs and ability Pokemon with abilities are good right now. What do we do that stops all of that?
Yeah.
We play Walls again, right? And even without having you have answers into everything, right? The Milotic answers the Ceruledge matchup, and you get weakness into Ceruledge, so you have easy ways to KO the Ceruledge. You have Cornerstone Mask, which just answers half the format.
True.
You have you have the Farigiraf, which is stopping all of the basic EXs and Mega EX Pokemon now.
Yeah, and it's helping your Guardy matchup pretty greatly.
It helps you. It does help your Guardy matchup a lot. So it's just there's a lot of really cool things that deck can do, and then there's some cool stuff that deck has access to. We were looking at some lists, and I was testing it out, and that the Mantike from Paradox Rift, that is a killer card for this deck. Actually,
yeah,
you can give up a prize on purpose to heal off one of your Pokemon. For the folks at home, it's a free attack, free retreat, Mantike, 30 HP, and its attack just says that you get to heal 120 HP from one of your Pokemon. So it takes the place of the Pokevital A that was in Walls, and now you get to play Hero's Cape, especially in a format where Jamming Tower is now on the decline.
Yep.
So Hero's Cape is a huge bonus to the deck. And the deck only gets better in the next format with that new Ice Cream card that's if your Pokemon has 3 energy attached to it, heal 80 HP off of it. Are you kidding me? You just run 3 or 4 of those in the deck, and you can just pick when to pick up 80 HP off of a Pokemon.
Pretty good.
That's so sick, So it's a lot of fun. I think that Walls is in a pretty decent spot right now, and I think after this weekend, once we see kind of where the pieces fall, both online and with the meta in general, with tournaments, Walls might be in a pretty strong position.
Yeah, I think I totally agree with that. It makes great sense. We were talking about it in our Discord, like you said, and it's just a good pick right now. Milotic EX is really slept on. It's a great card for dealing with Terras, because it just shuts them off entirely.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's the answer to Terrabox itself. It answers the Charizard matchup, which is Charizard. Dangerous right now.
It answers Ceruledge, which was a huge amount of the meta. And then Farigiraf beats the deck that's actually good that makes day 2, which is Gardevoir. So, really great pick for right now. I think people should pick it up and try it out. It's a really fun deck to play as well. It makes you feel like you're so much smarter than your opponent. Yeah, I've kind of, as far as you had some other stuff on your dock too. What else did you want to talk about? Stuff you've been playing?
Oh, the only other thing I think I'd had on my little list here was I did go out, or not go out, I should say. I did buy Hades 2 on my Switch this morning with the intention of playing it, and then Maggie woke up, and I'm always a person who's I'd like to have my arms, my lap completely free when I'm at least trying out a game for the first time if I don't know the controls. And I'm assuming they're kind of close to Hades, but I've heard it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
And I want to get accustomed to it first. So I was like, well, we'll play that another day. So it's all right. I am hoping to have a good shot at it. So the next time I'm on here, I'll be able to share.
Yeah. Very nice. I have a much less eventful, I think, what I'm playing. I've been playing Lost Zone GLC on live, much like you have. It's a really great deck.
Banger.
It plays really well. I've also been playing more Borderlands 4 as far as video games go. I finally beat the story. It feels really good.
Nice.
It's a great story. I think it's maybe the best Borderlands story
so cool.
that we've had. It's weird though, because it feels very not like Borderlands. I don't know. It's strange, but it's a lot of fun. I need to max out this character so I can. I'm playing Amon right now, which is like the tank character, who is apparently statistically the worst character, and also like just like it's understood that he's the worst. I didn't want to play him to begin with because I don't normally play tank characters. I wanted to play the Siren, like the mage class. And turns out she's one of the best characters in the game. So it's like, well, the one time I want to do something to push myself out of my comfort zone, and I get punished for it. So that just tells me that I'm always right the first time, and I should always trust my gut, and I'm always right. So what can I say? It happens. Another thing, actually, I've also been going back and forth with GameStop trying to get like the ultimate super deluxe edition with that. I did finally get. You talking about that. It's not really in the shot here, but I got something. This might be show and tell time for my games merch. Hold on. I did finally get my Ripper Mask pre-order from Borderlands 4 from GameStop. And I've also found a way I'm going to be able to get the Super Deluxe Edition. It'll just require using their app, but I've had to like do some account nonsense where I'm going to have to like merge my accounts, my old and new accounts. It's a whole thing.
What a pain.
GameStop sucks, man, but I do have to deal with them. And then one other thing that I got today, which I need to go grab real quick. Sorry, I know you guys love having dead air on the show, but
they just see me like grinning.
But I tried to be quick about it. It was luckily really close. I went and picked out some old physical copies of some of my favorite games, being Borderlands 2, Halo 3, and Halo 4. Halo 4 less so, but like I love having those games. And the Halo 3 copy is sick. It's got the original manual.
Halo 3 was a banger game, dude.
It's got the manual, and then it's got the control manual back here. The one that unfolds into the poster.
Oh, yeah.
Shut up. You know what I mean?
That's sick.
So I picked those up this morning from a guy on Facebook Marketplace. Sorry, I'm not facing the mic. But yeah, some cool pickups for me as far as video games go. Just been kind of out of the Pokemon TCG stuff lately. It's been a busy time.
Very similar, unfortunately. A lot of my stuff has been only like recent to the last like 4 to 5 days, if that. Honestly,
I think it's got a lot to do with the fact that it's just like it's harder for me to find time and money to have product. I'd rather just do something else, but I'm hoping that that changes kind of in the near future. So that's kind of the games.
having a kid has definitely pushed me towards like not away from Pokemon, but it's more towards finding avenues to entertain myself that are a little bit easier to do when you have a kid that's hanging out with you. And,
you gotta have something you can pick up and put down on a dime.
Yeah. It's so I've moved a little bit more towards catching up on like TV shows, anime, manga, that kind of stuff. Really digging into that kind of stuff. So, but I'm happy to play live on or GLC on live. That's been something I've really been looking forward to since they announced that in the trainer trials. I'm at the point where I really just hope that they make it a permanent format. I would love to see them bring in some permanent formats. GLC on live would be such a good permanent format, right? Like we've already accepted that expanded isn't true expanded, right? Because we don't have cards all the way back to black and white. It's the same thing, just with the GLC rule set. Like at this point, it is one of the most played like it's not just one of it is probably the most played fan format of Pokemon, without a doubt. Like it's entirely fan made, and it's such a good format. Like
it's great. It's really wonderful. I hope we get more support for it from TPCI soon. It'll be nice. That's pretty much all I got, though, as far as what I'm playing is just those couple things in my video games experiences. Nicole and I actually played through. Are you familiar with It Takes Two?
I have heard of the game. I understand it's like a specifically like 2-player game.
It is.
The story looks like really interesting and like genuinely heartfelt. So
yeah,
I'm sure that was a really, really awesome experience to kind of go through that.
I bring that up because Nicole and I played through a infamously sad level the other day.
Okay.
Like I think the saddest level in the game from what people tell me. For those at home listening who are familiar with the game, it's the one with the elephant, and I won't say anymore. But it was really fun. I mean, it's fun. We've been playing a lot more games together, which has been really lovely. Having that big one, like kind of like the emotional climax of the game, that was really fun to play through together. So had a blast doing that, and that level was just fun. So most of what I've been playing this game have been video games, and I'm cool with that, and I like that. So
it's so awesome.
Maybe I'll get some more deck building games in soon. I want to try out that new Kangaskhan Khan Absol deck that we're going to talk about on the Patreon episode.
Yep.
I want to I want to play some Kangaskhan Khan Fortress too. That seems like a fun deck.
It's an interesting one.
Yes.
It's an interesting one.
But I think that's really kind of all the stuff I have to say about gaming. Anything else for you? And we'll move on to the Q&A section.
No, I think that's about it.
Awesome. Well, we're going to wrap this show up with one of our questions from the audience over at patreon.com/terminalcreative, where for the $5 a month tier, you can submit your inquiries to the show. This will also get you your bonus look ahead at the month and see any guests we have coming on the show and try to get your questions asked to them as well. Keep in mind, we're going to keep wrapping up the questions from previous months, but this is the second to last question of September. The October thread is up right now on Patreon. We don't have any guests planned right now, but I am in contact with a couple folks. So hoping that I can get some more guests on this show, and then you guys will be able to have your questions asked to them. I'm thinking about maybe in the near future, and maybe this is an off-camera conversation, but offering like a free trial just so people can get a taste of what they're missing. But in the meantime, our first question is actually from Cassie Roth, who wrote in and said, if you could have one Pokemon as a pet, what would it be and why? And then describe its living environment. And Johnny, I want to hear what you have to say about this first.
Oh, man. I'm going to be... if I was living like the life that I am pretty much right now with a Pokemon, I think it just would end up being something like... just like a Sprigatito, dude. Sprigatito and his ass is absolutely holding an Everstone because like I ain't taking care of no child-sized or adult-sized cat. Like
it's a lot of food, a lot of litter. As well.
Exactly. I don't need to deal with that. But Sprigatito holding an Everstone, and then it would just be the same exact like environment as I already have 3 cats. So
just get a weed cat.
Exactly, just a little weed cat,
Pretty good.
No, I think that would be cool. The only other thing I could imagine, and it's probably would just be like, I'd do like a Porygon,
Porygon would be sick.
Just hanging out in the computer,
That can hang out in your phone.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's kind of like having a Rotom, but like, you don't have a thing that's like trying to possess and take over every single electronic around you constantly. It just gets to operate the programs behind all that stuff for you. And
that'd be pretty cool.
It's kind of like a cool AI system in a sense, but like, without giving your data away.
Or killing the planet.
Right, exactly.
Jeez. That'd be cool. I like the sound of that. I'm interested. I don't really know what I would have. Because on the one hand, I think of like the cat Pokemon as well. I think of things like Arboliva, who's just a plant. Or even like what's another good one? Like I don't know, like you could get any of the frog Pokemon would be nice and easy.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of drawn to. Oh, who was it? There was one specifically that I was drawn to, but I forget exactly what. I'm actually drawn to. You said Rotom would be. I think that'd be a really cool one.
I think Rotom would definitely be cool.
Rotom, I think, would do maybe the same thing as that Porygon stuff.
Yeah.
But he would also be able to talk to me. I think that'd be sick.
Yeah, Rotom can absolutely talk.
Just a cool little guy.
Handling, like TVs and stuff like that. The cool thing with that, I will say, maybe like a third one there for Rotom is like you can just like jump around to like things and start operating machines in your house and doing stuff for you. Bro's gonna start cooking food for me.
Dude, Rotom is actually low-key Jarvis, if you think about it.
Mm-hmm. Like Rotom smart home. Yeah. Rotom is the smart home with that. True. Honestly, a Rotom Porygon combo is like the ultimate smart home.
True, that's the tech bro in Pokemon.
Bro is
like, Rotom, go start my oven.
Crypto mining.
Rotom crypto mining? No way!
Nah,
Rotom coin, baby!
All right, I need you guys to we're
taking Rotom coin to the moon. That's awesome.
Oh my god.
Another one that comes to mind, because this one would require maybe like is more of a pet, is a Chatot. I think a Chatot would be sick.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it could just talk.
That would be cool. Yeah. It talks, it sings, it mimics. That would be super sick. I could see that. I could see that being a fun one.
Deliver messages. It's just a bird, really, so all it needs is like to be taken care of as a bird. I could do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I always love like the idea of like talking about like what Pokemon you want as a pet. Yeah, as like something to think about, because one of my favorite memes I've seen before. I'm sure other people listening maybe have seen it. Is like the joke about you get like you get yourself like a Litten, right? And you're taking care of this Litten, and that dude evolves into your Incineroar, and now you've got literally just a man in your house. Like you've just
a guy.
Like you literally are just taking care of a guy now. Like you are like, if you're taking care of another human, you have to provide like literally a full size bed. Like what Incineroar is. Incineroar. What is Incineroar's
I'm calling it 5'4".
It's at least 5'4". Give me those stats, bro.
5'11". He's taller than you.
Bro is
sorry not to dox you like that.
Bro is my height. Bro is my height, and he's only a little bit lighter than I am.
That's bananas.
This is literally just a dude. Like this is a dude.
This is a guy.
Like what if you're like just
this
a single
cat
person?
Will steal your girl. Like.
What if you're a single person and you just have that, like you had a studio apartment and now you have to figure out the bed situation?
That's the thing. That's also sus too. Because if you're sleeping with your Pokemon and it's just a dude, that's just a guy. That's like if you're like, oh man, I live with my Pokemon. Who's your Pokemon? It's Thundurus. That's suspicious.
Yeah.
That's suspicious. You're doing some very.
That's concerning.
I'm worried for you. I know what you are. There's no laws against the Pokemon, Batman.
Oh my
Disgusting.
god!
But yeah, no, that is really funny. It's fun to think about Pokemon as pets. Oh jeez.
Oh jeez. Yeah.
Wow. Well. I hope you've enjoyed your answer. That's the Pokemon we'd have. Weirdly techie answers for us. Not very like, oh, I like this guy because he's cute. We both are like understanding that we don't have very much time. We're just like, give me an app on my phone.
Yep. I need someone with some practical, experience and ability.
Yeah, I'm gonna have Rotom. I'm gonna have my Rotom MacBook write my resume. It'll be awesome.
Oh my god.
Oh geez. Well, I think that kind of wraps up today's episode. We've got everything we're going to talk about. Stay tuned and subscribe to the Patreon, where we're going to take a look at that new Absol Kangaskhan deck tonight. We hope you enjoy. We hope you'll check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/terminalcreative, to support this show and the things that we do. We appreciate you. Johnny, any closing thoughts before we wrap?
Nope, none for me. None for
me.
It was a good episode, as always.
Yeah. Great to be here with you. Thank you for your time and your attention, and always hanging out with me and talking about Pokemon. Any plans for the rest of the evening other than this bonus?
Probably just relax and go to bed, honestly.
Yeah, truly. We're getting up there. It's kind of late. I'm probably doing the same. I'm gonna. I'll have a shower and then I'll go to bed. It's been a long day. I moved some furniture today. I don't know if I said that in the intro, but I moved some furniture today, so I'm still kind of sweaty. So I'm gonna have a nice shower and then go to bed after this bonus episode. But thank you, of course. Thank you all for your support here on YouTube and Patreon and Spotify. And we thank you for watching as well. We'll see you in the next one, but until then, peace out.